Welcome to the Chromaniacs, everybody. Your weekly look inside San Diego FC and MLS from San Diego. My name's Craig Elston, joined, as always, by Tony Sanchez. What's happening, Tony?
Nothing much. Just enjoy some midweek all-star action and disappointed, much like they were too. They wanted to play with Messi. I don't know.
Oh, man.
No one more disappointed than Don Garber. You're going to make me do what? Here's Alex Pena. What's up, Alex?
I also missed Messi being out there. More importantly for guys like Jeppe and Dreyer, those guys that haven't been around Messi. I thought that would have been a great opportunity for them, but oh well. Always next year for Messi to miss another All-Star game, right?
I kind of have a feeling Messi can miss as many All-Star games as he'd like to, and MLS is going to say, "Thank you, sir. May we have another?" We'll believe it next time. Put the football down again. I'll go for a solid kick. I'm sure you won't pull it away from me. But that's them. And this is us, the Chromaniacs. Episode 9 of the Chromaniacs of the main show. This will be a shorter Chromaniacs. The reason is we're recording on Thursday, July 24th. And there's a match on Friday, July 25th. A big one against Nashville Soccer Club. They didn't want to be an FC. They wanted to be an SC. The S has stood for success as much as soccer this season. We'll get into a preview. We'll start with some very quick housekeeping, and then we will roll into what we know so far from the transfer window. So first, quick housekeeping. Follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs. Always great work being done by terrible SDFC memes to pull out a few things from the show. Look at that. We're up to 300 followers for a very, very young show. I like that. And there was the picture of us from the match. The shorts.
There may be a day where I join you guys soon, and it's not for any action of my own. I may have been stopped by Leagues Cup and not been approved by Leagues Cup. So.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's all good. Abe got the approval. So SanDiego.Futbol, and we'll have coverage. We get it done. So this might happen more sooner than later.
That might be a blessing, just to not have to be in the catacombs for Leagues Cup. Just enjoy it as a casual, certainly like I will be. That's for sure. So yeah, the Chromaniacs on Instagram. Please rate and review the show. We've seen some nice 5-star reviews already out there on Apple Podcasts, but wherever you are, Spotify, etc. It does help the show at least a little bit. Certainly, if you're watching us on YouTube, that thumbs up, liking and subscribing is huge. So if you can please do that, thank you, and thank you. Next announcement. We'll have a post-game show tomorrow night after SDFC and Nashville SC at Snapdragon Stadium. It's crazy how few home matches remain in the regular season, Tony, for San Diego FC. It was so home heavy there at the start of summer. We're going to go a solid month barely seeing this club.
Yep. I think it cut off there. I don't know. Hear me?
Oh. Can you?
Yeah,
We can hear you. Yeah, absolutely. Then you went muted. Well, Alex, you can answer the question too while Tony sorts himself out.
Yeah. All right.
I think I sorted myself out.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. This is why it's recorded. I should see. That's why I like it, actually. Anyway, 10 games left in the season for San Diego FC overall, but yeah, so few home games. It's something that people take for granted at times. Just being able to see San Diego FC up close and just a soccer, this is going to be the first everything, right? There's going to be a first off season for San Diego FC coming relatively sooner rather than later. You hope much later if you're following and hoping for a potential run in the playoffs.
Yeah, and luckily we have a couple home matches here due to the Leagues Cup, and we'll get to see this team a little bit more, and hopefully they can make a deep run in that too, and have a chance to compete for 2 different cups. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for next week, seeing some Liga MX clubs come in, and we get to see what they're all about. And yeah, second time for SanDiego.FC to play Liga MX after their friendly with Club America.
Going to be a lot more familiar as the summer winds on and turns into fall, because as you guys were just talking about, I mean, here comes Pachuca, here comes Tigres, here comes Mazatlan, and then in September, Xolos comes to town on September 16th. Hilariously, the night before that, the game before that, September 13th, will be Hispanic Heritage Night against Minnesota. But when
Love
Club
that.
Tijuana comes in,
Nope,
it'll be
not them.
Mexican independence celebration presented by Modelo that night. So not that they didn't turn it completely on their head, al revés, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying that Hispanic Heritage Night is when Minnesota comes to town. I just think that's funny.
We will all remember where we were when Minnesota walked in to also observe it, hopefully, and we welcome that. I always welcome different Hispanic heritages celebrated from around town. Meeting some Atlanta, Georgia Mexicans the other day was a fantastic experience, let me tell you. So get out there and know somebody, maybe in the tailgate where you can find Alex and Craig, which, by the way, Alex, no idea you were that tall. That was a pleasant surprise.
Oh yeah. I feel
if ever
like I get that a lot.
If ever comes to like podcasting, anchorman fights, if ever that's like we're in good. You're in good hands, Craig. You're in good hands.
Give Alex the spear.
Between me and then you got Brandon on the other side too.
Oh, he's a secret.
Yeah. Well, Brandon's going to be one of the first to go just because of easy target, large target range. I know how the kids play the games. He's got a wide target range. But we digress. So yes, post-game show live tomorrow night on YouTube. Take a look for it. The match is 7:30. So what time did we go last time? Around 10:30?
I'll let you guys decide. By the time people decide to come out, it might as well be the next day for me.
Yeah, I know. I think it was about an hour after last time. So look for it that way. And I make my own individual plans to make sure I'm ready to go for the show an hour after, even going to enjoy the action at beautiful Snapdragon Stadium. Okay, transfer window is here, but they can't buy any beer. That would be the short version if you wanted to know what's going on with SanDiego.FC. Bringing in the kids to help. Are the kids all right, Alex Pena? Who do we got and why?
Oh man, so it's being reported out there that I think the first one that came out was that we're acquiring Pedro Soma, and he is currently playing for Barcelona B team, not the main Barcelona team, but the Barcelona B. And he's a midfielder. He's 19 years old, and I do feel like this type of acquisition is for that under 22 slot that we've been talking about. So this is going to be a straight up transfer. Probably is going to include a transfer fee for this guy, and then we get to have him here, and that's good. That that's I look at this as really good depth behind Tverskov and Anibal Godoy. I think that's kind of what we need, especially with Alejandro Alvarado out. He's going to be out for the year, and you bring a guy like Soma with this type of this caliber of player. He's been in Spain, working in the Barcelona system. I mean, he's going to be very explosive. Like some of the film I saw of him yesterday was pretty impressive. Like he knows how to move pretty well with the ball. He knows how to drop a pass like on a dime. It looked really impressive, like cross passes. Just it looked really impressive, and I'm excited if whenever this becomes official, whenever San Diego FC makes that post on Instagram, and I know for sure we got him. Um, I think that's a great type of player to have in your under 22 spot.
Tony, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look, it fits right in line with everything going on in SanDiego FC, right? Like it's another young player. It's another player that just again falls into that right to dream path of the youth. You look at how they just really take pride in the fact that FC Northland is the youngest average in Europe for a team, and they make it to second place and have this competitive team. This is that version in MLS. So you're gonna have the team that will probably need a nanny at some point if they go out in the night while Chuky Lozano is out partying, hopefully for a playoff victory. But this is a good move in terms of what's been working. It's been very, very modular for a squad that it's finding players that fit the right mold. Youth knows Mikey Vadas the system that he's comfortable with. The comfortability of Mikey Vadas coaching this player, right? We've seen what he's done with young players like Ian Pilcher, who's there to be a student of the game, who's just sat and learned and observed Patty McNair, Chris McVeigh. How do they do things? And now you start to seeing that development from him. It's a great move, and again, it's come from a good move by Tyler Heaps, and that's what I'm more excited about too. It's just who's Tyler Heaps gonna just hey here's a guy I found, there you go. And it seems like Pedro Soma is one of those guys or kids coming up.
Okay, so that's one. And David Vasquez from Philadelphia Union, but also a U.S. under 20 youth national team player. He appears to be another, and this seems to fit everything you just said about Soma. You should be able to say about Vasquez. This is someone Vadas is comfortable with, somebody he's coached, somebody he knows, who knows him, and is not getting an opportunity with Philadelphia Union, has one match played this year. So my question, Tony, why should I be excited about this? Or should I be excited about this at all? Are we just getting a back of the bench depth piece here, or is this somebody that can add to the attack?
Yeah, it's somebody who's going to be very exciting to watch and develop into their own style. You see it on a similar team with Akimi Ascanio in San Diego Wave, right? This is a player that can find their way in any position, and this player has a nose for goal, and definitely one of those flair type of players that can bring some excitement and really resolve players and can really resolve different situations, a la Milaniloski, who just resolve things. Something's not working, he found a way. You need to play a different pace, a different style, you can go ahead and do that. But overall, I think people should be more excited because of how upset people in Philadelphia are that they're actually letting him go. So that's always a good sign, right? When the team that's parting ways with the player is kind of like, maybe we should rethink this, guys, and not let another one of our guys go, right? This was Saidi's position, but unfortunately he got injured, still nursing an injury, the 16-year-old from Philadelphia Union itself. And Philadelphia Union also has what is considered to be in MLS, the #1 academy already in play, along with others. But right now Union is up there. So good talent coming out from the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, and that's a testament. You see it with Kevin Sullivan, right? Like he's going to be at Manchester City in a few years, and he's 15 years old. They have a really good development system in at Philadelphia, and hopefully we get that with Vasquez. And from what's being reported with Vasquez, it's a loan with an option to buy, at the end of the season, and I think that's really important. So right now he would most likely be a supplemental player on the supplemental roster, and maybe later on you move him into a senior roster spot when you buy, pick up that option to buy. But for us, it's a tryout. It's pretty much bringing him in, seeing what he's all about, and if we like him, we'll try to activate that clause in his contract. And if it doesn't work out, then he goes back to Philly, and that's that. So I think there's no risk in this. It's huge risk for Philadelphia for letting us have this player and having that option to buy. But yeah, and if he turns out to be everything that it seems like he is, he's a really good top goal scorer for in their system. Then hey, this might be a really good deal for San Diego FC.
Tony Sanchez, question. Is this it? Is this it for SDFC, or is there more coming?
There's definitely more coming for San Diego FC. There are a couple negotiations underway. I know there's one player that's pretty much finalized contracts that's going to be announced later. Let's also remember the window just opened, so anything can still happen, right? Across the globe, there are transactions that are being made. This is why it's interesting for MLS to align itself with the rest of the world, because transfer windows tend to be on wonky kind of schedules with everyone else. But this is one of those kind of spaces where, well, everybody's kind of at a club when Europe is already done. The season's going to start in Europe. So, there's still chances for players to come over from overseas. Much like Milan Iloski went back and he's going to start a season with FC Northland. But players should be coming in additionally, but also players from injury should be returning as well very soon.
Yeah, and when it comes to like the transfer windows, especially internationally, we're seeing guys go to their club asking questions like, "Hey, am I fitting with your plans? Am I going to get the minutes that I think I deserve?" And trying to feel it out in preseason. And if it gets determined like, "No, you know what, you're not part of our plans," then that's when they're being asked to like, "Okay, I want to go on a loan, or I want to be sold, or I want to go somewhere else." Because they're not getting a good vibe in preseason, and it's time to go somewhere else. So that's happening right now. For San Diego FC, it does feel like you're getting one guy for your under 22 slot, but there's still 4 other spots available on the senior roster, and I'm very interested to see how exactly that's going to be filled out. It does seem like there's one international spot on the roster due to Bruseth going out on loan, so that opened up a spot. And so, I mean, you could take your pick of how you want to fill this out. You could probably bring one international guy, bring a couple guys that are, more domestic guys, to this roster. Maybe trades. I feel like a trade might happen. I don't know why I get that feeling between MLS clubs, but yeah, you gotta fill this out somehow, because the supplemental roster is pretty much filled out, and now you gotta fill the holes in your senior roster.
Does this sound crazy? You're in first place in the West. These moves feel like an expansion team's middle of the table incremental improvements, setting up the stage for the midterm and the long term. They don't feel like the moves of a team trying to win the cup yet.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think, yeah, for a sporting director, yeah, you are looking at both sides of it, right? You're trying to look at the short term and the long term. Bringing in Soma, that's completely doing that. You're looking for someone that can fill a need right now in depth, but can be a starter down the line, and fill in that gap when Godoy leaves, or someone else leaves. Um, yeah, you're playing both sides of it. it's hard to pick up somebody, in the summer transfer window that's gonna really make an impact. It really has to fit everything, right? It has to fit the system. It has to fit the style. It has to fit everything that they're doing. Um, and 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 I think that's why I brought up like maybe an international loan can fit that, where it's like, okay, he's gonna be here for a short time, maybe towards the end of the year, and just fill that need. But that's also hard. I mean, you gotta find the right person to fill that spot.
Is there a player out there that you would want to see rehabbed back into a national team?
Yeah.
And I mean, for the U.S. men's national team, for I don't know, Mexican national. Like, is there just a player out? Because this is like a fountain of youth that's happening too. Because you go back to basics with the way that Right to Dream is playing, it's just a faster version of a basic soccer team, right? Look at what the San Diego Sockers do, right, Craig? They're just the most basic soccer team that have all the talent. They have the flair. They can, just do incredible things. But if you really look at how they play, they're just pass and go, touch and shoot, pass and go, try like little triangles, little patterns. We're just gonna beat you, little jabs, 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 and they break you down. That's Right to Dreams. That's San Diego FC's way of playing. And once you have that, like it's a matter of having that potential to just come with some experience and reset yourself. Luca de la Torre did it. Dreyer did it. Chuky did it. Injury. The story continues, right? Like, is there somebody out there that you would want to, be brought into the walls of Singing Hills?
I mean, me personally, if you're
Yeah,
asking me,
sure. Open
I,
table. Who?
did you guys watch Ted Lasso? I mean, I feel like we're one Zava away. Like
Zava.
all we need is Zava. And I feel like this team is set to go. Can Zlatan walk in? Obviously, that's who Zava's based on. Can Zlatan? Could you imagine if Zlatan just walked through that door? It was like, I'm here to fuck up MLS again. This league sucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill it.
I believe it because he's the poster boy for the new EAFC, formerly known as FIFA game, video game. He's a poster boy. So, hey, on a press tour, why not? Stop by.
Mhm. Yeah. Get all the goals that he can in MLS. I can see
I
it.
don't know. I just still feel like we have a number 9 hole, and I don't think either of these kids are necessary. Maybe Vasquez can fill it. Who knows? No one thought Olaski could. But, if David Vasquez can't fill that hole, then the club still has a problem, which leads me to the last thing I kind of had before we talk Nashville. Is Ingvartsen. Is he the hidden, forgotten man of San Diego FC? Like, he was our original number 9. And then it's like, he's a little dinged. All of a sudden he's been nothing forever. And then, like, I think the last time he started, he was in a midfield position. Is there any chance that there's juice left in that Nordic orange up there to be squeezed? Is there anything in Ingvartsen that could make an impact on this club by the end of the year?
We're probably crossing our fingers that we hope it happens. But just looking at his history, he is I think he's very injury prone. He hasn't eclipsed like the 2,000-minute mark since like last decade. It's been a long time since he's actually been like a healthy player. He had that one season where he hit 23 goals in a season, and that's pretty much it. It just seems like we took a player that wanted to do that and be that rehab type player, as Tony was saying. And yeah, he just hasn't really done it yet. He really has to be healthy. And even the 300 minutes we've seen, I didn't come out that impressed. He scored 1 goal, and it wasn't anything that I thought like, oh man, this guy's has the potential of doing things later on. I kind of look at him as more of a depth piece now, and I do feel like there should be someone that comes in and plays in front of him and just hope like, hey, that if he does get playing time, it probably is down, in the season, and we just got to hope for the best.
Parallel universes. Marcus and Varston doesn't get injured, right? Then you have him be in the system. SanDiego.FC still does very well, before a loan and a introduction of Milan Iloski. Tyler Heaps pointed out SanDiego.FC was second in scoring in the league. So scoring was fine. Everything was going to happen like it was planned to. And then later on in the year, here comes the transfer window after the All-Star game. And Varson's kind of had a lot of minutes. Hey, how about we call that kid Milan Iloski to now come in and fill and now be that bridge for the end of the season. And so
sliding doors. That's what you're doing on there.
Exactly. And so then you get the prolific nature that he, Milanowski obviously had. It goes back and he's now kind of in this hyperbaric time chamber for a little longer in FC Northland. And then at the right time, cool, call him in, hometown kid. We knew this kid was going to be able to do this. Take us to the playoffs, Iloski. Doesn't happen. Parallel universe. That universe explodes. We have it here. They've been still doing well. That's the thing. SanDiego.FC still been doing well, even without Milan Iloski. Post Milan Iloski, they've been doing.
But have they? Well. But have they been doing well? I mean, they got a draw. They got a draw when a corner got in and a defender knocked it in. They lost to a near last place team at home.
They
lost to the Dynamo.
They don't have anybody to feed it up. The ball just gets stuck like molasses in midfield. Jeppe is tired. Like
Jeppe's gassed.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, I think everybody just was spoiled a little bit, and Mike Ivada said it the best. Everybody at that moment for Houston just kind of needed to be humbled a little. And I think that's what just kind of reset this team once again. Just reset expectations. The conversation of this team should be fighting for playoffs, let alone first place, guys. And they're very aware of that. But I don't know. I think what Tyler Heaps is doing is great. I don't know. I trust the man. I at this point I have nothing to say. Wave the rally towel for back, and if that's the energy that needed that way, then hopefully, because there is a giant hole up in 9.
See, my cynical mind is at work, and I feel like a ceiling has been established for this club with the decisions that are being made, with the third DP not being called upon, going to get 19-year-old kids that may or may not even play on the senior roster. Someone else is going to come in, I'm sure. But I feel like this team is now playing for regular season points and a graceful bow out in the playoffs. Like, we gave it a real fight against so-and-so or who and who. I don't think they're going full bore to try and win MLS Cup. And I don't know that if they did, it wouldn't be the wrong decision. I don't know that. Tyler Heaps, as you say, trust him. He knows better than we do. That's for sure. But actions speak louder than words. The actions of the club, to me, are the actions of a club that kind of knows it's been playing over its skis for a while, and there's a landing still to come, which might be my transition to Nashville Soccer Club. I am just looking at it. I feel like this is the best opponent that SDFC has played yet this year, and could be their biggest challenge. And with all of the injuries, hopefully Godoy's back. Hopefully hopefully the boys from All-Star have legs underneath them. But right now, this is one of the first times I've looked at a match and just been like, ooh, we might be in trouble on Friday night.
Yeah, and it's not just Friday night, right? It's going to be the next, 5 matches in 16 games or 16 days. That's insane. That's like you're having a game every 3 days, and we don't have the depth. Like, we're going to have to play essentially everybody every game, whether that Chuky gets like 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here, it's going to be a lot for these guys to just. And here's the difference. Nashville, we could talk about Leagues Cup a little bit. They didn't make the playoffs last year, so they didn't qualify for Leagues Cup, and they're not playing on Tuesday. We're playing on Tuesday. SanDiego.FC is, and they don't have another match. Their next match is a friendly against Ashton Villa. So they pretty much can go all out, and this is the thing that they do. They go all out in these games. They hardly sub. I think they rank first when it comes to taking the least substitution and minutes. And yeah, this team is just full on gas, and they can do that. They can absolutely just play their guys. And hey, you know what? There's a friendly next week. We don't technically have to play and play them play to a full strength next week. But yeah, getting into Nashville, they're a very hot team. I mean, they have won the last 7 of their 8 matches. They've recorded 1 loss in league play since April 19th. That's how hot they are. And but I'm going to give you a positive right now. That April 19 match was against another West Coast team in the Seattle Sounders for a 7:30 match, just like us. So that little time difference might work to our favor. But we're going to need kind of everybody to be on point for this match. Hopefully we do get Animal Godoy. I saw him that he was not listed on the injury report for this week on Friday for Friday's match. He's going to be playing against his former club. I think that'd be a really good thing. Chris McVeigh was listed again. That means Manu Dua, Ian Pelch. Actually, it might be Paddy McNair getting back out there. So that's going to be really good to see at least one of those guys back on the back line. But they got 2 guys up front that we just saw yesterday in the All-Star game. That's
what I was thinking. Yeah, Surridge. I mean, he's the real deal, and that's why I'm nervous about this match. To be honest, is him against a bunch of kids who can't buy a beer, and who's going to have their savvy win out over the course of 90.
Yeah, and yeah, he's tied for the lead in goals. I mean, he scored a goal yesterday. That's kind of the thing he does, and it's not just him. Hani Mokhtar, he's also another dangerous threat, and he controls. He is the center fielder here. He really does control that offense. He does it really well. I mean, because he can beat you with a pass in for a goal. He can beat you with a free kick for a goal. He can beat you in so many ways, and he's very creative. He's a former MLS Player of the Year, Landon Donovan Award winner back in 2022. He was their first designated player, and it shows. I mean, the guy is very talented, and he's really emerged from his 2024 season where he wasn't doing so well. I think he only had 8 goals last season, and he's really done really well this season. And yeah, these 2 guys are going to be a handful for whether that's Pilcher and McNair and it's going to be a lot for these guys, and hopefully we do see Godoy, we do see Tverskov and Luka kind of a little bit more at full strength, and yeah, we kind of need everybody for this match.
There's just so many variables in this match that don't point to a good time for SanDiego.FC. There's a point where is Snapdragon a fortress? Is any stadium a fortress? And honestly, Snapdragon in the last couple of weeks hasn't necessarily been a factor at all. So even just that, looking at those rosters, right? Just the depth difference in the in this squad where, wow, just look at the amount of players that they have. Imagine if San Diego State had that amount of players. It can mean everything. It can mean absolutely nothing. But Nashville is one of those teams that is doing soccer the new way, MLS the new way, and they have this gear that they can kind of get into where they can be an elite team, or they could just fall and crumble, and it's a business transaction victory for San Diego FC and move on to the next. But between the young backline, between all these questions, just kind of get compiled week to week for San Diego FC, and every time they answer them, even if they don't, they bounce back well. But I think they've come to a point where every question is being asked on a Friday night, one match, and go. This is it's not a pop quiz. This is the exam at the end of the semester. But guess what? There's still the final exam. But this is the big exam. It's cumulative. I can't say that word. ¿Cómo se dice? Cumulative.
Cumulative.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You got it.
The rare Mexican accent flubbed by myself.
I love it.
But yeah, so there's a lot of different aspects that don't point to a good time for San Diego FC here. But if they can do it, it's another one of those things where like they proved everybody wrong yet again.
Yeah, I think the best chance for SDFC winning on Friday night is for it to be a good time Friday night, for Nashville to have come in, for the time zone to affect them, for something to break SDFC's way early. Something I really think the first 30 minutes might be determinative. Like if you don't get the lead in the first 30, it could be an issue, because I think Nashville's quality is going to show over the course of 90. And even if they fall behind, I think they've got so much veteran talent to attack up top that it's going to just put this extremely young back line to the test. Maybe Cisniega or stands on his head. Maybe Dos Santos is back. I'm not sure, but maybe there's an exceptional goalkeeping performance. There's always a way to get a result in soccer. It's similar to baseball in its stupidity, in terms of the randomness that gets injected match to match that we try to interpret as meaning. Nonetheless, this is like, I think there's only been one other time that I went to the snap going like, boy, I don't know. And the last time I did, we won. Against LAFC. That was a time I was like, whoa, I don't know. They look like they're really loaded up for us. Nashville looks loaded up for us. I think they're just, I was like doing some research earlier today, and I was scrolling back looking for a loss. It's like back. Okay, Messi got you once, but back. This team doesn't lose. They are nails. So to me, this is facing a potential champion in Nashville. This is SDFC's ultimate test so far this year. If they lose it, it's not something to be ashamed about. You're probably facing the best team in MLS.
Question for both of you then. Last time out here at home, San Diego FC pulled out a pretty good tie at home. Mikey Vada said in post-match, this tie felt like a victory. What happens? Does it change anything if after Nashville, Mikey Vada yet again says, hey, we got a tie, but it feels like a victory again? Does that start to change? Like, okay, cool, another tie, another victory, but does that pull you any sort of way, any direction, make you think something? I'm just kind of, because the thing that come out are very the same. Like you ask Mikey Vadas, hey, why is the sky blue? He'll tell us, because we stick to our principles, and because like they stick to the script. And I can see a tie, and then once again, this is a great tie. Felt like another victory. I'm just going to accumulate ties. You guys okay with that?
I think for the circumstances, probably yes. You barely have enough guys to have a full roster right now, and you're playing on Tuesday night, and then you play again Friday night, right? Or later on in the week, and it's gonna be hard, right? You're gonna have to make some business decisions, this week. Whether it's gonna be up really. Does this match against Nashville more important than the ones against Pachuca? Are they gonna be more important than the ones later on the following week? I think they're gonna have to really assess this this match and really, yeah, do what other teams do, right? They when they have tournament play, they kind of determine like, okay, we have a chance to win a trophy. We're gonna go all out for this match, and then these other matches, oh well, we have to save some guys. What about you, Craig?
Well, I'm just going to go the other direction. I think they should go all out to win this game, do everything they can to win this game, and I don't give two hoots whether they lose to Pachuca or not. That doesn't matter to me. Those are games I expect the whole team to be as young as possible. And as you guys were saying, one of the biggest issues for SDFC is they literally can't just roll Team B out there and say, go ahead. They don't have enough. They don't have enough.
Yeah. We're Team B. I don't know if, by the way, you guys are notified we're Team B.
I'm sure there's some old loyal dudes still like a phone call away. They could find somebody.
Giancarlo Fracchianeri. There you go. There's one that's no one's heard about.
But yeah, so for me, you've accumulated success in MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Get a result. And to answer Tony's question, I don't want to be the one to break the explicit tab. So absolutely, I would take a tie against Nashville. I would take it gratefully, and I would say, thank you. May I please have another? And this is establishing the theme that I feel like SDFC is telling me as a fan, which is we don't have a championship team this year. We have a team that's good, maybe played a little better than we thought it should have. Like maybe we're a little higher in the standings than we almost kind of want to be because of the way that now the fans expect us to try and win MLS Cup. These aren't MLS Cup moves. These are first year moves. Going to the under 22 path, that's a first year move. And I think what they're trying to tell me is enjoy the summer. The fall might be a little short. The MLS playoff experience, enjoy that 3-leg first round if they're still doing that crazy stuff. Because that might be it for the club. And honestly, I'm not going to scream bloody murder if that is the case. But that's just kind of the feeling I'm getting right now. And I'd love for them to go out and win 4-1 on Friday night and make me sound like an idiot with what I'm saying. I would love to feel that because I haven't felt that way since BC Place in Vancouver.
Yeah. And if you want a little bit more optimism, I do feel like we will have a 12th person on the pitch. It's going to be the sideline official with the flag. Because Nashville leads in offsides. 59. That's our 12th person right there.
Love that. To kind of look at Craig again, just the longevity and the long-term projectness of this FC Norseland, if that's the copy paste model, they were founded in 1991 and they didn't win their first championship and their only championship until 2011. So, that's still good. I'll give you another example. Across the border, if you want to do that, as the other side of the coin, they made it to Primera División, and guess who won it immediately? Cholos. So, expectations is what this team has now. And that's why I think, they played a little bit out of their league and they played well, but much like I think another player, maybe perhaps, CJ Dos Santos. Did he peak already? Do you want to see CJ back tomorrow? Who plays tomorrow? Who's the one that takes the gloves? And who's your choice?
You know who I'd take?
I'd
take Cisniega. How about you, Pena?
Same for now. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done a bad job. I mean, he's done pretty well, and yeah, you could keep rolling with Pablo. Just keep it
When
going.
they signed him, I thought he was going to be the starter.
Me too. I thought he was going to be number 1.
Yeah.
And then it was CJ. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's how I know you guys are clocked in.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. Cisniega. It's Cisniega. That's where you go.
I think you got to. I think it would be weird to not. And then if you walked in trailing at half, it's a tough feeling. But I don't know. It's such a young team. I just feel like we are at that critical mass point of we're getting younger and younger and younger, and that's awesome. But also, it's really hard to win that way. It's just hard. Long term, it's hard. We're asking Dreyer and Chuky to just carry so much mail right now for this team, and it's kind of like if they don't juice it up and put big numbers on the board, SDFC's in big trouble right now. So I don't know what to expect from those guys, having had to fly back and forth for the All-Star game. The game itself was like a glorified practice. I'm not worried about the effect on their legs at all. It's more of the distraction, family, travel, interviews, just the kind of buzz of the whole thing, disruption of pattern, disruption of routine, scooting back in and trying to just pick up the baton. These guys are well-paid professional athletes. I'm counting on them to pick up the baton on Friday night and for Dreyer to score and for Chuky to score and contribute. And if they can do that, SDFC's got a good chance to get a result against Nashville. If they have to do it without him, and we're just counting on that, back line of teenagers to stop this really potent center attack of Nashville, I'm worried about getting a point out of this one. So let's go veterans. Yeah, that's you can't too. Who here can buy a beer? Hold up your hand. Who here can go to the bar after the game? Okay, we're counting on you guys. We're counting on you guys. Get the job done against Nashville SC.
It's going to be children out there, man. But guess what? The average of this team is 26.1 years, and it's not going to get any older. Well, it'll get younger. It'll get a little younger. I'm interested to see after the players join what the new average is. Surprisingly, not number 1 in the league. I do believe that is Philadelphia, actually. No,
Caven brings that average down so much.
Yeah. I mean, boy, it's the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah.
New York Red Bulls.
Okay.
Another good academy, but San Diego's building their academy here.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on Friday's match? Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I hope. I'm still waiting to see something out of De La Torre. I mean, I think he's got to be the guy that kind of steps up. I know he's coming back from the Gold Cup and playing in it and everything, but I think he's one of the guys that really needs to step up, and hopefully we see it in this match.
Well, I'd like to wrap by saying once again that we will be back after the Nashville final result. Once everyone gets home from Snapdragon, except for Tony. Tony sticks around. Once Tony gets back up from talking to the head coach and the players provided, we will do a Chromaniacs postgame show tomorrow night after SDFC takes on Nashville Soccer Club. Football club versus soccer club. How did the team from Tennessee?
I don't know. You want to know something? Insider information from within the club or around the club, actually. Technically, Nashville Stadium is the largest soccer-specific stadium in the league.
Yeah, it's over 30,000, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't
Interesting.
know. Yeah. Soccer club. Football club. Football made it out there. Soccer.
Yeah. Good job, soccer.
Soccer City, Nashville. All right.
Hey, they're playing great. Maybe it's happening. It's happening right in front of our eyes. Hopefully that all gets stopped on Friday night. But either way, we'll be back to chat about it. For everyone who made it to the end of this episode 9 of Chromaniacs, we say thank you so very much. If you haven't clicked the like button on YouTube yet, please do so. If you're listening to the audio version, why not just go over to YouTube and just hit the like button anyway? And also follow SanDiego.Futbol for all your footballing needs. Tony.
And follow everything that we do, coverage, San Diego Wave, San Diego FC, interviews from over at Singing Hills, practice, post games, everything here. SanDiego.Futbol on YouTube. Greg, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at 619 Sports and Life, which of course parrots over to Facebook as well, but I usually don't accept friend requests over there. I'm on Blue Sky at 619 Sports. And I'm also the host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast with Chris Reed and Rafi Cantor. You can find us everywhere. You can find us wherever you find this, including YouTube. And you can support us at patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Chris and I do the Crossing Streams television streaming podcast, Crossing Streams. Last one, well, our special guest was Rafi, but here's the whole thing. Rafi Cantor actually writes on Poker Face, the incredible show with Natasha Lyonne that Ryan Johnson is the showrunner for. And so he came on as a special guest to give us all the behind the scenes of how the show is made and what how Natasha Lyonne would change the script, not in a bad way, but like just how it works, how everything works to create that show. So it's a great, great episode of Crossing Streams. Check it out. If you've never been introduced to the show, I think it's a great one to listen to. Find it where you find all the stuff. And Alex,
Chromatic FC on Substack, and I'll have a preview for everything we talked about for Nashville.
Beautiful. Well, that's it for now. For Alex Pena and Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston. We'll talk to you after the match, hoping for at least a point. Give us a result. And vamos, SDFC.